Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Everybody who's brand new, hello, my name is Lara. I do everything in chapter form, and at the end of each chapter, I have what I call commercials, which is just things that are funny, parodies, stand-up comics, or just people, because people are funny. So I like to laugh. That's a big part of my show. But other than that, I think that's about it. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Your time's precious. I know that. And every minute you spend with me is wonderful, so I appreciate it. Okay, let's just get to the fun. Okay, so chapter 1. Prince William makes us proud. He does. Invisibet's birthday. Yep. And the SS craziness that always comes with. Just people who don't know, I just want to let you know, I always have to have YouTube manually go through my stuff because they demonetize it and then they manually review it, blah, blah. Anyway, I just want to let you know, sometimes it takes quite a while. One time was 30 hours. One time was 25, 16. So I'm hoping this gets out to you quickly, but other than that, let's just get cracking. Okay, let's start with our handsome Prince William. This is from People, and this was before he actually went, but by the time I went and searched, I would manage to get a little bit of his speech, and it's just beautiful, you guys. So, anyways, it says, meanwhile, Prince William will attend the Canadian commemorative ceremony at the Juno Beach Center, followed by the international commemorative ceremony at Omama Beach, where he'll join over 25 heads of state and veterans in marking the historic anniversary. It'll be of D-Day, and Canada, we're doing it in France, so that's where he went, because that's our royal family as well, right? Because we're a Commonwealth country. I say us, I'm Canadian, if nobody knows. And I'm so proud of him. Anyway, the Canadian delegation arrives in Normandy to mark D-Day's 80th anniversary. The region's cemeteries are the final resting place for more than 5,000 Canadians, including 359 who were killed on D-Day. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. But by when I did it, it had only been uploaded 9 hours before. But anyway, I wanted to just show you what underneath the comment of what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a comment, and then I'm just going to show you the clip. I always go to the comments because everybody's so smart. Except, okay, excuse anything that's not grammar or spelling or anything, because this is just from a commenter, but they explain what Prince William is reading out, because it's otherwise you won't understand it. So she said it's and you could tell this isn't her first language, English, so I'm quite impressed. Exceptional testimony of a soldier on the front line. On this day were lost their lives. Free Europe. Glory and honor to them, and thank you for the Prince for reading to us this testimony. See, it's lovely. So let's just listen.
It is now 0300 hours in the morning, and I've just been up to the bridge. It is rather light because the moon is shining, though heavy clouds cover her. One can see the row of small ships and of darker balloons silhouetted in front and behind us against the grey sea. You, my angel, sleep gently in the nursery, I hope. Your thoughts have helped me so much. They have given me real strength. I can imagine how you listen to the news at 9 o'clock and think of me with love. I hope that Andrew's golden head rests gently and quietly upon his small pillow, and that Richard is nice and comfortable, lying in his narrow little carry cot. A long line of flares hangs over Cherbourg, or I suppose it is Cherbourg. and a few anti-aircraft tracer shots go up in the air above the immediate front line. Funny to imagine that their Germans run around their guns. I'd like to know what they are thinking. The whole channel between us and Cherbourg is filled with the little ships, which all quietly and efficiently sail towards France. The British, Canadian, and American fighting forces on the warpath.
So I thought I would throw this in because how beautiful is it? This is Queen Elizabeth's last curtsy, you guys. Because after this, she was the queen and she didn't curtsy to anybody. So this was the last curtsy she's done. And I just wanted to do it after her beloved grandson, William's speech. It just felt so appropriate, right? And it was just so lovely. And it just gets me all mushy inside. And I thought I'd start out that way because we are in for a wild ride, you guys. But I just wanted to throw some pride out there for us. So, okay, let's get to the craziness. Okay, so Invisibeth's birthday. Obviously, it's done now. But we are still going to cover it a little bit because we always have to do that. I'm not going to read out because I'm not into mainstream media very big. So I'm not going to read out the entire article or anything. But I am going to read out some of the headlines and some of the crazy stuff I found. And the Sugar's wackadoodle stuff. And oh yeah, okay. Harry's daughter, Lilibet Diana, celebrated her birthday with friends. The young princess turned 3 on Tuesday, but her parents threw her a small party at their home in Montecito over the weekend. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, she has got to be desperate. Like, she's down to Entertainment Daily now, okay? So, you went from the palace to Entertainment Daily. Okay. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's daughter, Princess Lilibet, is celebrating her 3rd birthday. The daughter and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and sister of Prince Archie, Lilibet is 7th in line to the throne. Pray tell, why do they put that? I thought that they were just supposed to be regular people. And also, pray tell, why do they put that when the states don't give a crap? Because they fought a war to not, curtsy to somebody. Like, I'm from Canada and we do that and everything, but it's not recognized in the States. Of course, our allies, the United States, hi all you lovely people, love our royal family too. However, what does the throne have to do with shit? We'll just go on. Us magazine under celebrity moms, you guys. Celebrity moms. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle reportedly celebrate daughter Lilibet's 3rd birthday with sweet party. Yeah? Okay, well, where is that sweet party then? I am going to read this part out. Harry, 38, and Meghan, 42, celebrated their daughter's birthday a few days ahead of her actual birthday, Tuesday, June 4th. Over the weekend, the couple held a party for Lilibet, also known lovingly as Lily, and invited their closest loved ones and friends to attend. Okay, I just put in the corner, but they couldn't change the day when the Queen was alive. Unbelievable. Like, no, Harry had to run home for Archie's birthday or Lilibet's birthday or someone's, who knows. And then he couldn't go because it was one of their birthday. What a crock. But they can change the birthday when it's a polo match or it's this. So I found Lilibet's birthday party, guys. The Laird of the Manor on X, he's showing us Invisibet's birthday, 3-year-old birthday parties in Montegrifto are strange and creepy. Hashtag welfare check on the Sussex children. Yes. So that's their party, guys. And this is the picture that the SS squad is touting around as Lilibet. What? First off, this child is way younger than 3. Secondly, now it has such blonde hair that you can barely see it. This is the biggest joke ever. I cannot believe how Catherine is treated after seeing this crap. This utter crap. So I saw this and I'm like, yeah, that's about right. I guess Montecito residents cannot afford rent-a-kid services lately. Hence no photos from the birthday. Hello, Meg. Any work is Lilibet this week? Oh, Lord. So, of course, we have to go to Crazy Town just for a little bit here. Not very long. Look, somebody even made a portrait. Drew that picture that's fake. Okay. Hurrah! Lily is 3, wishing Princess Lilibet Diana of Sussex a very happy 3rd birthday celebration. Oh, God. And this one I put, throwing shade, Rocho, because it certainly sounds like her. Happy birthday to sweet Princess Lily. I hope she's having a fantastic day, surrounded by more loved ones recognizing her big birthday, or her big day turning 3. It's that whole recognizing thing that makes me go, okay. Well, if it's not her, it's definitely one of her paid minions because, hello. But, because the royal family, they didn't recognize a kid that's not there. So, what do they expect? What do they expect? It just gets better and better, you guys. I saw this and cracked up. I wrote, this must make Rochelle so happy. Yeah, right. With her insane attention to detail, LMAO. Because it has on there, happy 4th birthday to Lilibet. Oh, where's the princess? Okay. The child was last photographed by the public or press in Harry's arms at a parade on July 4th, 2022. Her resemblance here to Meghan Markle Sr. is striking and undeniable. Hashtag Lilibet Diana, hashtag Invisibet. 4th birthday? This is somebody whose side are you on, ma'am? Because half of it's sugary and the other half is not. And that 4th birthday is hilarious. So I don't know, but whoever you are, you probably pissed her off, which is funny. So the beloved Debs puts gorgeous new pics of Lilibet on her birthday. And I wrote, wonder how much they pay for all of these kids. Yep, 3 of them. And that's about right, cut off the head. Just see the back, the top of the head. God. Some fool put this out. Happy birthday, Princess Lily. Okay, but there's Harry. Why not? There's no hashtag Prince Harry or dad or nothing. Oh my God. Then someone actually says, lest we forget, the king evicted his grandchildren from the home that the late queen gifted their parents. Happy 3rd birthday, Princess Lilibet. Are you kidding me right now? Oh my God. Oh my God. You are a real miracle. We love you so much. Look at these pictures, though. They're old, or you can't see their face, and they're old. This cracked me up. Princess SMHN. Oh, look, such a nice collage of Mary, Liz, Allie, Jessica, Maureen, and Christina. Oh my God. So true, hey? I mean, she doesn't even try to make them look the same. Like, oh my God. So Eugenie put these out, and I just wrote, these are not the missing HARKLES. Because that's what it would... I would bet my house that bag, if Eugenie didn't put these out, would have snatched this photo in a heartbeat and put Archie and Lily. Right? Could you not just see it? I could. Even though it doesn't look right, she'd still do it. Like, look at that. That looks, oh my God. Nobody can convince me otherwise that they didn't use him in their Netflix special. I don't care what anybody says. But that's my own opinion. That's my own opinion, guys. Here's little Ernie, but can you not just see her dressing? I could. I totally could. So basically, Eugenie is outing her kids so that Rachel doesn't get her hands on him first. That's what I think. And also because she obviously still wants to be in the fold. So I saw this and I was like, what is this? This is surfacing again and it needs to be addressed. And I'm like, okay, well, what needs to be addressed? I've been sent some information from a journalist in Germany. He's part of a team that's preparing to put pressure on our royal family to produce answers to many difficult questions. We'll all remember the picture that Harry and the actress released of proud parents immediately after the birth of baby Archie. I'd covered this before, but it's resurfacing. Why? This picture was presented to social media and it generated thousands of good wishes and congratulations from the gullible public. Aren't we wonderful? And here is our new baby. Make me sick. Oh, the original photo turned up. It was clear that the despicable duo had photoshopped their own heads into that photo. Unbelievable. Unbelievable the gall they have. It was sickening to read. Congratulations to both Prince Harry and obviously, welcome to the world, your whatever, got cut off. I apologize, your baby. Congratulations. Like, people actually believed it, because why wouldn't we, right? Well, I mean, some of us already caught on by then, but you know what I mean. So I saw this and I'm like, you know what? This is exactly how I feel. So the Laird of the Manor says, for all the hashtag where is Kate morons out there worried about a grown woman, I'd be more concerned about 2 missing Sussex children if I were you. All credit to at Mon Petit Chou 11. Where is Kate? She's out looking for the missing Sussex children. Because really, what right do they have even asking about Kate? She is a grown woman. And then where's your kids? And what I showed you, that's what we got. Okay. But you can go to Nigeria and show all your bits off and everything. But well, God forbid we have a real look at a real child that supposedly belongs to you, Rachel, and Harry. And hi, sugars, I know you're watching, okay? I don't care. So I'm going to end this chapter right on this, and then we're going to have some commercials. Because as far as I know, I think this is the last thing that's going on, at least where I am right now. Who knows what it'll be by the time you guys get it, but Prince Harry pulls out of the society wedding of the year, which William is going to, after realizing challenges of his attendance. So they basically, before, we're going to pull out of going to this this big, huge wedding that's going on, right? Of the richest man in Britain, or one of them. I just wrote, they weren't invited. I seriously doubt they were invited. So, because they always do this, like the gala and everything, right? The Oscars. Oh, they chose to, not to come. No, you would go in a heartbeat. You're just not wanted. Good grief, man. All right, time for some funnies.
Wait. I saw a story that the real issue you had in the royal family was the food. Coming from the States, from Los Angeles, I was used to decent food. This was something that really took me by surprise, and I didn't know how to deal with that. It was hard. You know, there's a lack of seasoning and flavour, and my family, you know, never really dealt with it. So, you know, needless to say, I think for a long time I didn't know any differently. So it was hard. It's very difficult. Also, the baby's a girl.
When you marry a royal, then you would do research about what that would mean.
Well, I didn't do any research about what that would mean.
You didn't do any research?
No. I've never looked up my husband online. I just didn't feel a need to because everything that I needed to know he was sharing with me, right?
What? What?
I didn't have the top, guys. Sorry. When someone bluntly lies to your face.
Not like we had to leave, really. My Uncle Andrew offered to babysit, and we couldn't have that nonce looking after our baby.
It's fantastic news. My wife and I are expecting another baby. We don't know whose it is yet. The bloke from Netflix, the bloke from Spotify, possibly even the bloke who came to fix the toilet last month. It may even be an immaculate conception. All I know is it can't be mine. We've not had sex for quite a while, and every time I try to touch her, she flinches, shrieks, and then hits me. So definitely not mine, unless she's milked me in the night while I was asleep and used a turkey baster to get herself up the duff. Anyway, the good news is, whether it's a girl or a boy, the baby's very probably not going to be Ginger, and I'm delighted that Archie will have someone else to play with. As the pregnancy progresses and my wife gets heavier, it'll really slow her down when she's trying to chase me around the house with a bread knife. So all in all, good news for everybody concerned, and specifically good news for me from a not getting murdered point of view. Obviously, I will be there to support my wife every step of the way, whenever she's happy to let me back into the house. At the moment, she's requested that I continue to sleep up a tree in the back garden, and the only time I'm allowed within 10 metres of her is if we've got something to promote. It gets lonely sometimes. A lot of sacrifices have been made, particularly on my part, but that's what marriage is all about. For better or worse, that's what they say, isn't it? Christ knows it couldn't be much worse, but I'm not entirely sure how I can escape at this point. Help me, for the love of God, somebody please help.
Know what everyone says about you? They say that you're a homeschooled jungle freak who's a less hot version of me. Yeah, so don't try to act so innocent. You can take that fake apology and shove it right up.
I love commercials. We have some new ones coming after chapter 2, and the end, you guys, is a brand new Sam. Can you believe it? He put one out. I'm so excited. I purposely don't watch those at the end so I get to have a giggle with you. All right, this chapter is simply called Dorito. Yep. Okay, so somebody, a good friend of mine, sent me an article that had been buried forever, and somebody is leaking out this stuff, you guys. It is crazy. But before I read the article, I found this, and I don't know who this is exactly, but they seem to know them. Anyways, it was maybe a year ago. The main gist is above. I believe the dispute started when Doria came to see the children. It would be pretty far back in my history to find, but whatever the trigger, Megan went apeshit. I think I remember her calling Doria ratchety and other racially loaded adjectives, but not the N-word, and told her to get out of her house, and Doria was dumbfounded and said something like, "Oh, are you going to do to me what you've done to your daddy?" Those are all the details I remember. Huh. So is it someone that works there? I don't know, but I saw this, and they have another one, and they have quite a few places. They're called Secondhand Coke. So anyways, I thought I would read that out, and then we're going to get into this crazy article. Okay. The story of Doria Ragland, Meghan Markle's mother. Have you noticed that unlike MM, whose name is already heard from every iron, we know almost nothing about her mother? We know that she's a yoga instructor and social worker, that she divorced. Meghan's father when she was just 6 years old, and that the future Duchess of Sussex lived with her father from the age of 11 until she went to university. But where was her mother at the time? There's almost no information about the Duchess's mother in the press, so we decided to fill this gap. Dorito was born to an antique dealer and a nurse in Cleveland. In addition to her, there were other siblings in the family, as well as half-siblings from her father's first marriage. Dorito grew up in a simple family and went to a very ordinary school. She was pretty enough, and she had a lot of boyfriends, and they were all older than her. There were rumors about her affair with a high school teacher. The consequence of this was an early pregnancy and childbirth. The child was placed in foster care. Excuse me? Had anybody else heard about this? Because I have not. Then her parents divorced and her father remarried to a girl of Doria's age, and she got along well, both with her father and with all of her siblings. After graduating from high school, Doria did not go to university. She occasionally worked part-time at a hair salon. And soon one of the brothers helped Doria move to Hollywood. So she began working in the dressing room of one of the news studios, but continued to dream of a luxurious bohemian life with eternal parties. And once she was lucky, the makeup artist of one of the series got sick. Doria was in the newsroom at the time and was urgently called to the next pavilion. Doria was not going to be a simple makeup artist making up stars. She tried her best to wedge herself into the actors' party and not into the team of the film crew. And she had a specific and well-defined goal. Ed O'Neill, the future star of the series Married with Children. It is said that Doria went head over heels and did not shy away by any means of achieving her goal. Soon for it already firmly entrenched the glory of the huntress with an angelic face. So she went after Ed O'Neill. Does that surprise anybody? Not me. I would say that MM is exactly like her mother. Okay. One day, director and producer Jerry Cohen invited Doria to one of the parties at his home where she met Thomas Markle, who stood up for a young girl when she began to be molested by a tipsy director. Thomas Markle, who worked as a lighting director at the studio, was a well-to-do man. At that time, his salary was a dizzying $200,000 a year. That's a lot of money back then. It's a lot of money now. He started to take care of Doria. I always want to say Dorito, that's why I keep stumbling on it. And suppressed rumors of her bad reputation. The girl liked his gentlemanly behavior, but most of all, she liked the financial situation of the suitor. Doria's father was strongly opposed to his daughter's relationship with Thomas, whom he considered to be an old libertine. But Doria skillfully manipulated the groom, saying that her father refused to support her financially, and she does not know how to live on because she does not have the means to live. Oh my God. Thomas had fallen in love with this unfortunate and defenseless girl, so he proposed to her. Doria didn't invite the dastardly father to her wedding. Does it remind you of anything? However, unlike her daughter, Doria invited the rest of her family. Well, that's something. After the wedding, Doria did not want to work at a film studio and persuaded her rich husband to open a travel company for her. And also did not delay the birth of a child, so the future Duchess of Sussex was born. I'm not too sure that's how that works, you guys, but I will go on. In the next part, we will tell you about the story of the divorce of Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland, as well as why her entire family turned away from her and why she spent 4 years in the colony. So I'm interjecting with a couple pictures. This is that one I had the poll of, and then I guess that's her on the right as well. Underneath is her mom, her, and MM. Now, I find it very hard to believe that girl was any older than 14, 15, 16 max. But it is what it is. I don't know. Is that the child she had before Thomas? Did she have a child before Thomas? This is all new to me, but I am investigating it. I don't know what to believe, so I'm not putting it out as fact, but I'm bringing it to you guys because this was something that was hidden, and why would it be hidden, right? Just seems odd. The story of Doria Ragland, Part 2. In the first part of the publication, we briefly told about the desire of the young Doria Ragland to find a rich husband from the actors' party. Let's not quite the way she wanted, but she found a husband. However, not from actors, but from a close environment. Thomas Markle worked as a lighting director, received a good salary, and was not the last person on the set. When Megan was born, she became a little princess for her family. Everyone carried her in their arms. Everyone loved her. And since the family lived well, even by Hollywood standards, she was not denied anything. She had everything she wanted. Are we surprised? But since this article is not about Megan, Samantha Markle, who promised to release her memoir book, will tell you more about her. Let's go back to Doria. She lived in Cloverdown, but it was still not enough for her. And she began to suggest to Thomas that he was capable of more because he had talent and connections. Immediately, I remember Prince Harry, who a few months after his marriage too, thanks to his wife, realized that he was an extra wheel and decided to go his own way. I think she learned from the master. It is at this point that the troubles in Thomas Markle's life began. Many people have heard that he hit the lottery jackpot, winning an incredible amount of $700,000. In some sources, the amount varies, but it is still huge. But this money did not bring Thomas happiness because, in fact, he did not win it honestly. Thomas, on the advice of his beloved wife, used connections. Of course, people were suspicious that the TV show Jackpot got a person working on television and even in the same studio where the shooting took place. I'd heard this before, you guys. I don't believe this is a lie. I believe this is to be true. Communication with the police began, and of course, the friends immediately passed the entire scheme, trying to clear themselves of suspicion. It was during this difficult period of her life that Doria decided to divorce her husband. Of course, why not? She left and without waiting for a divorce, filed for alimony. Claiming maintenance not only for her daughter, but also for herself. During this period, Thomas Markle began to drink. Ungrateful Doria, to whom Thomas provided a comfortable life, left her husband with debts and criminal cases. She not only sued for alimony, but also became a witness in his criminal cases. In America, close relatives can refuse to testify against their relatives without any consequences for themselves. But for Doria, the father of her daughter was probably not considered a close relative, so she was happy to give evidence in court. But even that wasn't the meanest thing about Megan's parents' relationship with Doria. During the divorce process, Doria, having hired a lawyer for Thomas's money, demanded sole custody of the child, telling the court that Thomas was an aggressive alcoholic, dangerous for the child. Of course, Markle, who was in a terrible depression caused by the loss of his job, reputation, and family, allowed himself to drink too much. And on one of these days, the Board of Trustees conducted an inspection. Of course, their verdict was in favor of the mother. Doria won all the court cases, and the unemployed Thomas was sent to forced dirty work so that he could pay alimony and benefits to the unemployed Doria. The travel company that Thomas Markle opened for Doria with his own money was registered to him, but he did not receive anything from it. Doria did all the business, and she also received income, but she was officially unemployed. What a scammer. Doria began to enjoy herself. She had a good income from a travel agency and received alimony for herself and her daughter. Doria and Megan often went on foreign tours, spent holidays on islands, visited expensive restaurants. Their life was interrupted only by Thomas, who constantly called and begged to be allowed to see Megan. Oh my God. Who had no great desire to meet her father. But, as usually happens, the higher a person rises, the more painful it will be to fall. Doria, who is tired of the eternal harassment Thomas, decided to get rid of him. Since, as we have already written, the travel company was officially owned by Thomas, Doria decided to create problems for him by not paying taxes. In America, tax evasion is a serious crime, and you can go to jail for it. And since he already had a suspended criminal record, Doria expected to put her ex-husband behind bars for a long time. By doing so, she was going to kill two birds with one stone, not paying taxes and putting the responsibility on Thomas, who was so annoying her with his desire to see his daughter, of course. But as the Russian proverb says, do not dig another hole, you will get into it yourself. Oh my goodness, you guys. So not everything happened the way Doria Ragland wanted it to. From witnesses, the tax service learned that it is she who is solely engaged in the affairs of the firm, which, according to documents belonging to Thomas Markle. The case was referred to the criminal police department, and then, damn you guys, it's cut off. Okay, procedures in drug and psychiatric hospitals improved his legal capacity. So basically he took her back, and the jury decided in his favor. I apologize, this was given to me, so many apologies. Meanwhile, Doria, who faced 15 years in prison for the crime, received 4 years in prison for financial fraud thanks to the good soul of Thomas, who hired her a good lawyer. She tried to frame him and oh my. But why is Thomas, who has been treated unfairly all his life and his family silent about the antics of the unscrupulous Doria Ragland, who is now the only one who is dear to the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle? Gwen Owens wrote this. Right? Why is she the only one? Because they're the same. A picture of them when she was smaller. The only thing they don't put in here, and maybe there's a reason for it, I don't know, is the drug thing, because we all know that she had a problem with that as well. But she was basically gone for the majority of MM's life. And then, of course, Thomas spoilt the hell out of her. Courtesy of Royally Sage, secondhand coke. Again, based on what little I can dig into the Archwell Foundation, Doria has a senior care organization functioning under Archwell. Remember, this is 3 years ago, guys. But as far as I can tell, there's no senior care going on anywhere, not even at home care. Yet Doria is getting paid. Meghan and Doria are in a mess, in my opinion. If one goes down, they're both going down. And if the senior care is just a sham for Doria to put her hand out to live off her daughter, which I think it is, they both are looking at some legal trouble. And I found this. It says, also Doria received from the Markles the 16 years in prison and got out after 4 years for good behavior. Wikipedia is an interesting site because anybody can change information at any time. The person making the changes, however, has their name, IP address, and the date of the change recorded. This is why I wanted to read this out. MM changed her own info at least twice. That's a big thing right there. Because you can do that. And of course she changed her info. She's changed her info on every form that she's ever had in all of her existence. So I'm just going to throw out a couple pictures that are floating around, of course. I believe, you guys, this is what MM is trying to avoid. She doesn't want to look like her mother. And I don't care what anybody says. How could we have ever thought she was black? Come on. My God. Snarky, snarky, snark look, even as a youngster. This makes me laugh because look at that. Grandma, mom, daughter. Sorry, Rochel, but you can't run from your, heredity. So I'm going to end this chapter on this. This is what they created, you guys. Everywhere you see the dark spots, fill it in. I'm sure you could figure it out because that's what this is about. Her on this particular photo. But yeah. So all I could say is she comes by this honestly. I mean, scamming, all of it. It's just unbelievable. Like the stuff they hid is what is so shocking. That they managed to get away with it for so long. You know what I mean? Well, not on my watch, not anymore. Anyway, let's watch some funnies and then have the last chapter, which is always my favorite, and then some.
Harry's upset the Queen, apparently.
How did you know? Did she tell you?
No, it's in all the newspapers. Meghan's been upsetting Harry. Meghan's gaslit him into
Are you
leaving.
watching them through a video camera like a creepy person?
No, but I
Are you
mean,
hacking their phones?
Prince
That would be really inappropriate to hack people's phones. Are you hacking their phones?
no, I'm not hacking their phones. And Prince Charles is upset because Harry says that he wasn't brought up right with his dad.
What?
Prince Charles is upset because Harry says that his dad didn't bring him up right.
Who told you that?
In a podcast, he intoned that he didn't want to pass the pain on.
He intoned that he didn't want to pass. Shut up with your made up nonsense.
But then how the else are we supposed to know what Harry and Meghan are doing if the Daily Mail's not telling us?
So just get a hobby. Have a wank. Go crack one off and have a breath.
I can't, I'm upset about Harry and Meghan. Kate Middleton's up to hide though. She's having to do videos to leave.
Up on season 44 of The Crown. Dreadfully, my family's primary concern was that of our child's natural tan. Harry, sweetie, tell her about Lizzie's reanimated corpse husband. Oh, yes. Every morning, get this, we had to defrost Prince Philip Daddy in the microwave. Yes, quite so. Pardon me for spilling the tea, if you will. Next week on The Crown, Queen Lizzie decides to pay Meghan and Harry a quick little visit.
Waiting in our backyard to repeat our vows again. This week, we are going to pretend the Obamas, Nancy Pelosi, and Hillary Clinton are attending the wedding.
Princess, why are we doing this again?
How many times do I have to explain this to you? We are rehearsing because I pitched the idea to Netflix on content showing us renewing our vows in the backyard. If they say they like it, we need to be ready to make it look authentic, hence why we need to rehearse weekly. For this second go around, let's replace Justin Welby with the Pope since he has a bigger audience and following.
My dear, we married under the Church of England. This is my entire identity. We can't have the Pope renew our vows as we would essentially be excommunicating ourselves by default.
Why are you disagreeing with me? Don't you see how this will make us popular again? I am the one coming up with all the ideas. I don't see you trying to find a bandwagon for us to jump on. Geez, you are the reason why we are failing so miserably.
I am not ungrateful for you showing me the errors of my ways. You woke me up to see the many opportunities for grifting by just using our titles and not have to work. You are right, the Pope would be an excellent choice to come to our backyard and officiate our wedding.
So can you call the Pope and tell him we need him for February 14th? I think a Valentine's Day special would be ratings gold. Why don't you go make that call? I am exhausted from this conversation, and I need to rest. Let me know when you book him, and I will call Netflix to tell them when to send the crew.
Okay, dear, I will do my best. What if I can't get the Pope to say yes?
You will figure it out. Can you please close the bedroom door when you leave? The noise from the office echoes.
Yes, sure.
Well, that was kind of strange. I had a commercial already and I went to go put it on and he took down the commercial. So I had to improvise. So I apologize if you've seen any of those, but I had to improvise. So, okay. This one is the last chapter called Online Bits and Bobs and the Blind, Old and Shocking. It's ACO Water Cooler Gossip chapter. So I'll just start with this. I found this lovely, lovely collage of portraits. Aren't they lovely? I just thought they were funny, so I wanted to share. Laird of the Manor is so hilarious on X, you guys. Dear Megsy, stop editing your pics. What if you go missing? How can we find you if you look like Megsy circa 2012 on Instagram and a potato in real life? New face, who's this? Oh my God. I cracked up when I saw that. I found this quite a while ago. I had a friend make it into a meme, but really it was a picture I found, and I just wrote, this is so disrespectful. I mean, for a little person, you don't go down like they are a child. They're adults. God, she's unhackable. I like to take the piss when I can. This brain do be kind of empty when someone tells me what the First Lady of Nigeria said. And then I found this, and I love it because it's the New York Post. We do not want nakedness in our culture. Nigeria's First Lady slams U.S. celebs after Meghan Markle visit. And I've said this before, but this has all of her worst, like, outfits for, you know, showing skin. So, yeah, pretty funny, I thought. And here's another one by Secondhand Coke. I don't know. My understanding is that it's something Archwell is producing that they will try to pitch to any all to try to get it picked up and streamed broadcast. But I also further hear that she's not showing up for work on Archwell's cooking show. It may never get made. Are we surprised even one little second that she's not showing up? I mean, really? I'd be surprised if she did. So I wanted to show this is how sick Rochelle and her minions are. Sleeping and buried by the enemy at hashtag AI Kate. Knock, knock, who's there? It's not Kate. She's in the garden doing what? Composting. Are you kidding me? I just wrote, this is beyond sick. This is allowed all the time, you guys. This kind of stuff. Like, the bullying is unbelievable for a person who is just sick. Like, she's ill. Oh my God, oh my God. So I saw this and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make something then. So the top, I put a real royal tour with a real princess. Because look at the difference, you guys. And I wrote on the bottom, this, not so much. Like, that's a real princess. Look at, they're just clamoring for her. Not that thing down there. And this says it all too, right? They like the way they sign a letter or a note. Princess Catherine just writes Catherine. And then Meghan writes Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Insecure, pretentious, desperate, trying too hard. Yep. So I saw this too and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Lou Bug says, spot the difference. Em looks terrified of the ball, not a sporty bone in her body. And I wrote, Harry's type. Yeah, okay then. Okay, so this is the old blind I found for us this time. Blind Gossip on Crazy Day and Nights. These are old ones, you guys, so you can't post on them or anything, but they have them up there. Apparently, there have been several very high dollar loans made to this illiterate former actress who is involved in some very public issues right now. There is some question about the provenance of the loans and how they came to be. This is a year ago, I believe. Okay. Heard this rumor a week or two back, and it's allegedly Russian money. And they aren't too concerned about the loan being repaid. Why would that be, do you think? More about how having certain people indebted to them might be advantages. Oh my God, you guys, I'm losing my mind. Okay. Wouldn't surprise me if the HARKLES are counting on the Bank of Pa to pay it back once the Russians are not asking for favors. Harry would sell out his family to anyone as long as the money kept coming their way, right? This is what I've been saying, that she is compromised. When she accepted the Saudi diamonds, that was a signal to Russia that there goes a woman who can be bought and doesn't worry at all about morals. There is so much Russian money in the UK. That's how they bloody flipped Brexit, with at least 80 million pounds being pumped into British grassroots organizations and social media. Cambridge Analytics ran a test on the UK before it turned to the US and flipped that election too. 2016 was a good year for them. I think she's foolish enough to listen to the well-meaning person in her ear telling her to take the money and run. I think Doria is that kind of influence. This Russian connection to the Harkles have Russian home in Canada, Russian home in Montecito, Russian apartment in NY for the reality show, and now borrowed Russian money makes them even more like Edward and Wallace with their connections to Hitler. Russian bots on social media. I mean, the narcos didn't hide their connections. So, exactly. It's alarming how quickly they associated with the Russians. I can't work out why they haven't been called out on this, especially with Ukraine. The thing is, I honestly think Harry is simply too dim to realize it's not a good idea to mingle with the oligarchs. You have to know a bit of history and politics, etc., to realize these aren't just your random mafia dudes from the movies. I doubt MM understands either. You're so right. He probably figured how it could all come back on. He's probably figured how it could all come back on him. He's so dumb and easy to manipulate. It's scary to think about. Agreed. This is rather disconcerting, knowing she wants to be a U.S. politician. Very much so. She wouldn't make it to the ballot, though. Her skin is too thin. She couldn't possibly accept any criticism. That's very true, you know. Candle in the Abbey. It's allegedly Russian money. Knock me over. Who could have guessed? Man, those two just suck. Zero values. Maybe she's making a move on Putin. They'd make a lovely couple. And I've heard he has some lovely yachts. She's dumb and bold enough to think she could bully the BRF. I'd love for her to think she can single-handedly manhandle the Russian oligarchs. Wouldn't that be something? I bet Putin agrees with H in the First Amendment being bonkers, too. Yeah, Putin wouldn't put up with her shit. MM's probably borrowing money to get the TIG up and running again because she'll need to hire employees, writers, photographers, and amateur influencer types because she's just too lazy to do any of the work herself. But she wakes up at 4 a.m. to write articles and cook breakfast for the entire family. They must have promised to make her queen if she keeps up with the royal takedown. She's hoping nuclear World War III breaks out in Europe. She can be Queen of England and California. These are sarcastic remarks of what probably really goes through her mind. Queen of England and California? Oh, no. What Meghan wants, what Muggin wants, Muggin gets. I think whoever is dumb enough to lend them money had better get used to the idea of never seeing it again. Is it possible TW has dirt on someone that didn't want coming out and they loaned her money to keep her quiet? Just asking. I imagine you can learn a lot of interesting facts working on a yacht. I saved this one for last because I loved this comment. Well, the word habitual comes to mind in that forged chest of Montecito. Me again, HARKLES is a habitual, pathological liar, grifter, addict to misinformation spreading, gossip, spendthrift of other people's money, puck bunny, yacht girl, funny she's avoided the yachting scene since she's gunshot married Harry, camera spotter, papwalk arranger, roasted chicken maker, loan taker, Ollie-God content provider and housing user, royal title mercher last but not the least, pseudo-white phallus hopper. Oh, God, you guys didn't read that part. So there might be some truth to the item on loans because their outgoings are going to drown them in debt. Pseudo-white phallus hopper. I love that. Oh, my God, you guys. These comments kill me sometimes. They're so funny. Oh, okay. Yay, it's Sam. And I apologize for the way things look. I can't wait to learn how to use a computer. Okay, thank you so much for sticking around and being here. And yeah, I can't thank you enough. Press like if you liked it. Subbing is wonderful. What else? Leave a comment, please. And yes, let's just enjoy Sam. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope this comes out before tomorrow.
Oh, a con man, you say? Yes, it seems that he who you've referred to as your in-law has been deported from America and banned for life. Twice. Oh, dear. Yes, for fraud.
Well, I can assure you that we had no idea.
Oh, there's absolutely no suggestion that you did, Harry, but perhaps you should be slightly more careful when selecting your in-laws. Well, I can attest to that.
Oh, he's such a nice guy as well. You know, he's always got a gift for you whenever you arrive, you know. And I personally love prezzies.
Yeah, me too. You know, they're a surefire way to my heart. Perhaps those presents were bought by funds generated from cashing stolen checks, such as he did with a £270,000 check from Boeing. I don't know. You know, and obviously I'm shocked and I'm disappointed. But I just want to say, you know, unequivocally, you know, I'm not giving any of those presents back, right?
She'll wear them like an albatross around her neck.
Oh, how stoic of her. Well, he was also charged in 1999 for forging a cheque for £59,000 under the name Thomas Earing. He was then imprisoned for 15 months before being deported back to Nigeria. Oh, this is my favourite bit. His £1,500 fine was waived because of his inability to pay. Yeah, but we're not like that close to them, particularly. You know, right? And how are we supposed to know that he had a slightly dodgy past? Oh, maybe a bit of research.
Yeah, but we are close. I mean, you posed for a picture with his wife, remember? Yeah, well, we call them our in-laws. Can't get much closer than that, can you?
Yeah, but what you're forgetting is we only referred to them as in-laws because we thought we were going to make a material advantage out of it, right? You thought there was some more moolah on the way.
Yeah, I think she fell for him as soon as he called her... Oh, what's that name he called you?
Adedo Kundo. Adedo Kundo.
Oh, yeah, that's it. It means royalty from across the sea.
Although, Meghan, with your eagerness to favourably compare anywhere with the Western world that is so far afforded you all of your privilege, you gushed in a vomit-inducing way about how beautiful and wonderful Nigeria was, forgetting perhaps that it is also the fraud capital of the world.
The funky king was so complimentary, it felt impossible that he could be a scammer. I mean, what did he say to you? He said, thank God you're one of us. Didn't he, Meghan? You know? I mean, where were the signs?
And besides, we only received, like, a few gifts. You know, it's not like we went into business with them or had any serious monetary dealings.
Well, he made a very generous offer on the private jet. You know, 100 gazillion, I think. How much is 36 zeros?
You didn't.
Harry, that wasn't even our jet. But I thought we could just buy another one, you know, out of the 100 gazillion to replace it. And then we'd still have most of the 100 gazillion left. Seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'd go along with no-brainer. Oh, my God. How did he sign it?
Thomas Earing. Thomas Earing. Thomas Earing. Yeah, Thomas Earing. Doesn't sound good, does it? Right, yeah, it's Thomas Earing.